The Pokemon TCG actually has more than one format, in case you guys didn't know. There's the standard and there's the expanded format. Now, Pokemon hasn't had an expanded format tournament in, I don't know, 6 years now. And it's from black and white all the way to now, which is a lot of cards. There's a lot of broken combinations of cards as you guys can expect. But once a year in Japan, there's a tournament, Champions League Aichi, which is happening this upcoming weekend. By the time you're watching this, it'll probably be over. But they have one expanded regional that runs side by side a standard regional. Not a lot of players participate in it, obviously, because the cards are hard to get, but there are some insane combinations of cards. Just think about the most overpowered combinations like Lugia V-Star with Battle Compressor, Double Dragon Energy, and some of you guys don't know what some of these cards do, so I will pause and show you as we go. Imagine having a V-Star counter and a GX marker out at the same time. Imagine having all these broken abilities where the game is basically just one turn of who can stop the other person from playing the game. Is this an interesting thought experiment? Absolutely. Would I love to play in one of these? Yeah, if there was no stakes on the line. I actually would have gone to IHG, but we're going to look at a video from the Japanese YouTube channel. They're going to be highlighting two of the best decks in the format right now. And we're going to see two deck lists for you guys. We're going to talk about the cards in them. A lot of them is going to be a little bit interesting and new for you that you might not know. So we'll talk about them a little bit because some of you guys are newer school players. But let's get into it without further ado. The first deck is Regidrago VSTAR. This is your old friend, or I guess new friend. He's still here, but Regidrago VSTAR gets something really, really, really broken in this format, and that is Double Dragon Energy. Double Dragon Energy basically just acts as any like two energies of any type on a Dragon type Pokemon. You can just slap this guy onto a Regidrago on turn one. Turn two, you just need a Grass or Fire to go along with it, and you can use the attack of any Dragon type Pokemon in your deck. Dragapult is still Giga Omega Broken, so it's in the deck. Kyurem also Giga Omega Broken, so it's in the deck. Dialga is the GX attack we're going to choose to use. I believe it's just Timeless, which lets you skip a turn and come back to you. We have the Salamus, which is a bajillion damage. We have, that's all of our attackers to kick us off. And we have Noivern, which stops people from attaching special energy, which is really, really important in this format when everyone is playing special energy. There's a 1/1 line of Garbodor because once we use our Legacy V-Star on turn two, we can just slap this Garbodor into play and stop anyone from using abilities because there's infinite abilities that everyone wants to use. We have one copy of Wobbuffet because opening Wobbuffet is super broken because, again, like I said, every deck in the format wants to use abilities. So if you can stop someone from using their abilities that aren't Psychic type, you're just basically winning the game. You have Dedenne, Tapu Lele, and Crobat as your three core. Shaman is banned if you guys were wondering where that guy is. But you have Dedenne EX, or GX, sorry, oops, to draw 6 cards, discard your hand. Crobat to fill your hand to 6, and you have Tapu Lele to get any supporter. Now, looking at the item core, we've got 4 Quick Ball and 4 Treasure. Quick Ball lets you discard a card from your hand and get any basic Pokemon. So, we can just discard our Dragons, get our Dragos, get our Pokemon to draw us more cards like Crobat, whatever. We have Treasure, which gets us a Psychic or Dragon type Pokemon, which if you look at our deck, there's only 3 Pokemon in here that are not Psychic or Dragon. We get Heavy Ball, obviously broken card. We have VS Seeker, which lets us just take a supporter out of our discard, put it in our hand. Battle Compressor, which lets us discard 3 cards from our deck, puts our Dragon types in there, gets to put our supporters, and that gets to use them. We have Field Blower to discard Stadium and replace Stadium if we need to. Stretcher to bring back any of our Drago pieces or stuff we discarded. Secret Box is the A spec because there are broken tools in this format. Floatstone, Bustle Band, Stadiums are broken. Chaotic Swell stops Power Plant basically from existing. We have broken items, broken supporter. Like everything is broken, so this A spec is super broken. 1 copy of Research, 1 copy of N. I mean, we don't really need Research that much. Like we're going through our deck pretty quickly anyway without supporters. N is just Iono, but we will shuffle in. Arven, again, tools really good in this format. Crispin just to power up our Drago on turn one. I mean, I guess we can Crispin plus Double Dragon, which would be really funny. We just can't evolve into Drago turn one, which is, I guess, the only caveat. Like we could play a Wally, I guess, but that like we're not Wallying and Crispining. That's not happening. We have a Raihan in case something gets knocked out, so we can power up another Drago in 1 turn immediately. We have Faba to get rid of most likely stadiums or special energy. Power plant can be really annoying because we need to use our abilities early on, and then once the abilities are locked, we can play our game. Guzma to just move our active. Chaotic Swell stops basically a stadium from being put down, so it's a really good stadium to be in play that can't be like discarded by a stadium. Parallel City to limit our opponent's bench down to 3, or discard our own bench down to 3 with some of the like support Pokemon, and then the Double Dragon and stuff like that. So again, already this deck seems super broken, like I mentioned to you guys. Let's take a look at the other deck. On the other side, we have Shadow Rider Calyrex. Now, this is lets you accelerate energy. This card wasn't really that broken because it was during a COVID time, a card, but it gets paired with some really insane cards in the form of Latias, which is your for your treat. You have the Graph Rig, which lets you remove 2 cards from your opponent's discard pile, which means you can take away Regidrago's attackers as easily as you want. The Chimecho, I actually don't know what the Chimecho does, so we're just gonna ignore that for now. And then TrevNoir is the broken one. TrevNoir does 150 and shuffles two of your opponent's cards back into their deck. And then the GX attack just kills the active and strips all the energy over one turn. So it's just so broken that you can control your opponent's hand. Like the later the game goes, you're basically just saying like you don't get to keep a hand. This deck has 4 Fog Crystal, gets a Psychic Basic or a Psychic, just a Psychic Basic, either Pokemon or Energy. Fighting Fury Belt makes you guys bigger. You have Ionos, you have Marnies, you have so much disruption. You have Crystal, like I mentioned, or Treasure, sorry, I mentioned earlier. Tapu Lele. The Wob is really good on turn one. Super odd to recycle resources. Faba, Guzma. 3 copies of Temple of Sinnoh. We really don't like special energy in this deck. We have a Forest Sealstone, so now you have uh, a V-Star and a GX, like I mentioned earlier. Lily's Clefairy to make Dragon types weak to Psychic, meaning Regidrago is weak to everything in this deck, which is really funny because this can get shut off by Garbodor or Power Plant, which is really funny on the flip end. So it's like two unstoppable forces trying to clash. This is going to be a lot to keep up with, guys. I'm excited to see what happens here. So without further ado, I'm just going to try to get us straight into the game because we talked about a Megaton Blower, clean up the special energy that's already on the board. I think obviously the Psychic type deck has got to be favored here. Player going second is probably like, I mean, both players I think in this matchup want to go first. We see a quick ball getting rid of the Kyurem, putting down a Trubbish, getting out of the Drago down with the Trubbish, basically just setting up immediately for the turn to Garbodor to stop our opponent from playing the game. We're just gonna go ahead and pass. This hand is kind of weak. It seems like we probably have to hope we have a supporter. Um, Shadow Mist is really good because Shadow Mist stops special energy from being attached. So we can Shadow Mist with the Calyrex to start off the game and just make sure that our opponent doesn't get what they need to get. But a Crispin plus an Evolve could, just do the trick here. But I mean, we have Kyurem as our attack, so it's not like the greatest thing. So if we can VSTAR into like some attackers, that'd be really good. But then the response is a Giraffe Rig that's going to wipe our board, which is really annoying. Lele is going to grab us a supporter here. Marnie. Giving our opponent more cards is not really ideal. We're going to attach this Chimecho. I don't. We're gonna find out what this guy does in a second here together. For retreat here, we're gonna do 10 damage. And what's the secondary effect? I feel like it's like no one can evolve. I don't know. I'm gonna look this up as we're playing the game. We see an Arvin coming down. Um, Chimecho TCG. Chimecho TCG. Uh, Bell. I'm gonna pause this. Bell of Shrine. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon that has an ability from their hand during their next turn. Well, that's pretty good. That seems quite good at stopping decks from doing what they want to do. And that's we can't play the V Star or anything. We're gonna have to just use Dragon Roar here. Just discard 3 cards. Try to get an energy. There's a V Star. There's a Salamence. I mean, at least we hit the Salamence. V Star is a little bit unfortunate. Like we have to kill this with Dragon Laser, which is like really hard to do. And now the deck is now Shadow Rider gets to set up, draw infinite cards, setting up another Shadow Rider. Now Clefairy gets to basically pop it. Another 10 damage comes through. I mean, Pokemon Ranger could fix this scenario. We have Secret Box, discarding basically our entire hand, grabbing VS Seeker, Crispin, Tool, and Chaotic Swell. Crispin gets us the attack this turn, which is actually really good. So we're going to be able to Dragon Laser, which is super awesome. And then we're going to be able to Chaotic Swell, which means that there's not going to be a Power Plant or a Sinnoh being able to come down. Also, there's a Field Blower associated with it. Megaton Blower does get rid of it, I believe. We're going to go ahead and hit the 130 and 30 damage. This is actually like pretty good. I mean, next turn we can Raihan and set up as well, which is like super ideal. But I think the Shadow Rider Calyrex player should just like be kind of cheeky with it and just remove the attackers from the discard pile, right? Like if you just remove the attackers, like what does this deck even do? Like we're gonna go ahead and grab. Oh, we're getting another Lele, huh? Treasure. I think we just grabbed the Graph Rig, that guy. So we're just gonna get a supporter. We're gonna get an Iono to 5. We're gonna get the Fairy into play, Megaton Blower the Stadium, and the Tool. And we know that the other tool is going to the bottom of the deck. Look at the V Star and GX marker being on the field. That's so funny. That's just so funny to me. Sinnoh in play, and both of our stadiums are gone as Regidrago. Like, this is so unfortunate. This deck's like a perma Regidrago counter deck, which is really funny because this deck just, I guarantee you, this deck actually might be able to beat Lugia. Like, Lugia can pop off, but I feel like this deck is probably designed. We have 10 plus 30 for each psychic on our board, putting us at times 2, blowing up the active. And just going up 2. Like, I mean, this board state seems like impossible for Regidrago to come back from. I'm very curious to see how this game. I mean, like, I think it's pretty much over, right? Like, we're gonna go ahead and treasure. We get the V Star here. Lele hitting the board. Lele also getting us Raihan almost certainly here. We can't really bump the stadium though. That's like really unfortunate. We can V Star back the stadium for Chaotic Swell, which is like doable, right? Like we can go ahead and now Raihan for the energy. We're gonna blower the stadium and the tool here. That's actually even better. We don't have the V Star here now. We're gonna attach the double dragon here. I'm down to just like evolve. We already had to use Raihan to attack, which is like really unfortunate. Muscle Band, giving us a 10 damage. We're gonna go ahead and attach the Chaotic Swell. We're gonna get the Fairy into play. Megaton Blower the Stadium, and the Tool. And we know that the other tool is going to the bottom of the deck. gives us plus 20. Crobat for a full 6. If we can get a Garbodor lock up here, that'd be really good because our opponent doesn't get to play the game a little bit. If we can get all that out, Battle Compressor within our deck. There goes the Dialga. There goes the Noivern. There goes the Guzma. Guzma giving us, like, just we want to use it on VS Seeker. It's a little trick that you guys in the new modern era don't get to do. But back in the day, Battle Compressor into Supporter was like a super broken combo because you could just like recycle stuff. We're gonna go ahead and use our GX attack for 170, and we get a turn back. Um, so we get to steal a turn back to us. I mean, this is the turn we want to establish Garbodor, probably Iono, right? Muscle Band again. And this way we also get to get an attachment. Dedenne. This board is like kind of gross, but the problem is these Dragos are really scary. Like if this counter deck to Drago can't beat Drago, like that's actually really like crazy to think about. We're gonna V-Star here. We've already GX'd once. Oh no, 2 double dragons. Oh no. We're gonna have to take the double dragon and we're gonna have to take this. Okay, why are we not playing one special charge, right? Like, it probably makes a lot of sense to play special charge. That's an item that says shuffle 2 special energy back into our deck. So like, with a deck where we're discarding so many pieces, it's probably fine to play one of those cards. Like realistically, like we probably can just go 2/2 on energy split and do this. Because like special charge just seems so broken. But I guess we don't need another double dragon past this turn. So we have everything we need, and we're gonna go ahead and attack. We're gonna go ahead and use Noivern's attack for 140. And I believe I forgot what Noivern's full attack does. I gotta look this up real quick. Like if I played expanded, I have to be reading all my cards. That's the funniest part, actually. Um, Noivern's attack says they can't play any special energy or stadium cards from their hand. Basically, we're just preventing them from putting down another Sinnoh, it seems like. But obviously, they're going to be able to one shot us here with the TrevNoir, which is really unfortunate because we're going to lose 2 cards. So we're going to get Iono to 2, almost certainly here. Fighting Fury Belt comes down. This guy gets way bigger. Iono to 2. Um, and yeah, I mean, like now it's like kind of a problem because we're gonna go to a 0 card hand. Um, we can kill, right? We have the energy. We're gonna GX, which is the opponent's active. Just gets knocked out at the end of the turn, I believe. Right? We just have Salamence for game. Yeah, we have Salamence for game, right? Like it's just over. Yeah, yeah. I was like, we have like with the damage. This is just like so sad because like this deck is built to counter Drago, and it couldn't even do that. Like, how absurd is that? That this Drago deck is so broken that like. Okay, also tag teams exist, guys. I guess I should have mentioned tag team the GXs. So that's 3 prize cards as well. The game ends so fast. Like 2 knockouts is all you need to basically end the game. And like there's so many broken cards, like just in this format, in this game in general. Like these are so nuts. Like these are so insane in terms of decks. Like I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely want to talk about expanded more in the future and like talk about more fun formats like GLC, expanded, whatever. Not just standard, just we're a Pokemon channel here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back for some more Pokemon content down the line.